Hey, welcome back. Today I'm going to show you how to fill out a house of quality or HOQ diagram using Microsoft Excel. I'm going to use a project that I'm going to be working on in my next video. For this, it's going to be counting cars. The reason why I'm doing this project is just mostly curiosity, and I also thought it would be a good idea to show everyone how to actually fill out a house of quality. So, in the House of Quality, you have a couple different sections. So you have technical requirements, you have competitive analysis, and then you have the customer requirements and the customer importance. Um, for my purposes, I am not going to be doing a competitive analysis. I'm only going to be translating customer requirements to technical requirements. For the project of counting cars, um, I am trying to build an Arduino-based device that is able to count cars that pass on the street in the middle of the night. Um, so I'll put that in the requirements. And I also don't want the device to get rained on, damaged by weather, or stolen. As far as other requirements, I don't really have many more customer needs. As long as it fits those two requirements, then I'm totally fine. Um, in this section right here, the technical requirements, this is where I will list the things that it needs to do in order for it to fulfill these two customer requirements. So the first one is battery life. If the battery life is too short, I won't be able to count cars all night and I won't get complete data. The next thing is detection range. I'm going to be putting it at the edge of my yard and detecting cars that are on the street. It needs to be able to at least reach the side of the street that is closest to my house. And so that is also as a technical requirement. The next technical requirement is it needs to have a robust covering. Again, it cannot be damaged by weather. It also needs to be kind of sneaky. Um, when I say sneaky, I just mean that it needs to kind of blend into the yard, so that way if someone's walking by in the middle of the night, they won't just pick it up and take it home. And then the last detection or technical requirement is the detection speed of the ultrasonic sensor or the sensor itself. It needs to be able to gather data quick enough to detect when a car drives by. The speed limit on my road is currently, I think, 30 miles per hour, and so it takes about a quarter of a second for a car to pass a single point. Some cars will be faster, some cars will be slower. It just kind of depends. So those are all the technical requirements. The next thing that I would do is I need to fill out each of these as far as customer requirements and customer importance, how important they are. So the most important thing is counting cars on the street, and then less important but still important, I'm going to put a 3, is being damaged by the weather or stolen. And then from these customer requirements, I can fill out the numbers on the technical requirements to see which one is the most important. So I'd say battery life, that one is very important to counting cars on the street. Same with detection range. Robust covering, that isn't really important at all to counting cars. Same with being sneaky. And then detection speed is very important, so I am also going to put probably a 9 on that one. I'll change that to a 9. Battery life is not important for the weather, and it is important for detection range. Depending on the sensor that I decide to go with, it can change the requirements. The robust covering, that is very important for that. I'd say that's more important than being sneaky, and then the detection speed is not important at all. As you can see, these right here, these are are all auto-calculated, so you can see what the most important thing is. So it looks like the most important things are 1, battery life, and then 2, the detection range of the sensor itself. That means that while I'm making this sensor, I will need to focus on making sure that I get a sensor that has a long detection range that fits my needs, and then also does not affect the battery life too much. Okay, so usually after you do one house of quality, you actually need to do it again. Except this time you take the technical requirements and you put them in this part right here. So let's do that really quick. So battery life, detection, range, covering, sneaky. And then you put the actual part requirements on the technical requirements section. So in our case, the part requirements for battery life is the runtime needs to be longer than, I'd say, probably 10 hours. And then also it needs to have at least 10 feet of range for the sensor. And then the sensor needs to be angled correctly so it actually gets the body of the car, not the tires. It needs to blend in with the surroundings. So whatever enclosure I make needs to blend in. And then the final part requirement is it needs to be capable of detecting every 0.25 seconds. Again, we need to do the importance and then the part requirements to determine which parts are the most important. So let's just do that really quick. So I'd say battery life, that's an importance of a 4, detection range 4, and then covering, sneaky, and then detection speed, that is going to be a 3 because it's fairly important. And then I'll do this really quick. Okay, so that is the second part requirements done. So this kind of helps me know what exactly I need in order to make this sensor correctly so that I can just purchase everything once and have it work. The next thing that I would need to do is I would need to actually put probably the part numbers in all of these part requirements or find parts that fit all of that. That's it for today. Thanks, and I will see you later.